Hey everybody, it is Elsa932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here for Married at First Sight, season 19, episode 6. Please make sure you do hit that like, you share, and you subscribe to the channel because we are heading back to Austin. Panama is done. We are done with the honeymoon and heading back. And, basically we see the montage of them heading back and we'll go right into it because there's a lot of ground to cover. The experts come to visit, at least two of them, and it was a lot of unpacking to do. And speaking of a lot, Will and Brittany, normally he asks, do you have shoes on or off in your home? And when they get to the apartment and she's like, well, and he's like, I'm an off person. And she's like, well, not normally, but he's like, you live here too. Give me your input. What would you prefer in our shared space? So, Will, you got to be upfront and just say no. Let's not wear shoes in the house. I don't want you tiptoeing with Brittany. State your intentions because the whole shoe thing, y'all. I'm a no shoes in the house. Okay, I am. So I'm a little partial. So she asks him about which side of the bed does he prefer to sleep on, and then ask him to switch. Well, baby, I should sleep there because I go to the bathroom more. I said, girl, just again, like Will, state what your preference is. Say, hey, can I sleep on that side? I prefer to because I go to the bathroom. And he can say, sure or not, or y'all compromise. Come on. So she wants to forget Panama ever happened in this new apartment. And she said now she understands that he is attracted to her, but what she heard was a rejection. Says he has been affectionate. He has been giving her compliments. And in her past relationship, she felt unwanted and rejected, but he is still here. He is still present. I think she's paying attention more, and she's now kind of hearing him through his body language rather than his words, because Will doesn't seem to be too verbal, but he is showing her through action. But she does ask him, hey, do you get in this bed dirty? Do you get in this bed dirty? He said no. He showers before bed. That is why he showers in the evening before bed, so he doesn't come to bed with whatever he, collected on the outside while he was having his day-to-day. So she likes that, and they cuddle up on the bed. But y'all still in the airport clothes on that bed. But I remember they don't sleep in the blanket, so whatever. Then we see Rhonda and Pat. Rhonda brings her dog straight into the apartment. So they walk in with their luggage, and straight away Rhonda's dogs are there. I'm not sure how I feel about this. And we're going to talk about it later with another couple whose dog comes straight into the apartment. So she says she has not shared a space with someone other than her kids in over 25 years. She's not sure how this feels, but they have a safe word. They have a safe word when she's overwhelmed. And I think that's interesting, and that's really what's needed. But you haven't shared a space in over 25 years. Rhonda, you set in your ways, lady. Ooh, child, you are set in your ways. Let's see how this goes. And yes, it's because she hasn't spent with someone over 25 years, because sharing a space is different. And even though Pat has shared a space, he shared a space with a wife for long term. He shared a space with his mom. We don't know because Pat said he hasn't shared a space in years. So his last relationship, I guess they didn't live together. Who knows? So we do hear a little bit about Jalen and Josh. But once they get into the apartment, Jalen is basically, I want to move this. Let's move this here. She already moving the stuff around. And first I was like, girl, calm down. But I forgot. She's a realtor. Are you staging the place? Are you rearranging it to stage it or live it? So I was like, put the realtor hat down, please, Jalen. Please. Then we see Chad and Belinda. And he says he just needs a small space in the closet. He's going in the corner. He just needs that itty bitty bit of space. And she's like, wait a minute. You don't have enough clothes for the week. He jokes that he only dresses for basically 3 or 4 days of the week, and the rest of the days he naked. And it was a cute joke because Belinda really had a good time laughing at it. He says he will not bring his cat and dog right now. Good call, Chad. Get to learn how y'all live together before you bring another, living being into the home. She says she'll be working and she's not used to having someone home waiting on her when she's done working. So she is concerned about her dog and all of this newness. Well, then leave the dog home. Leave the dog home. But she says she puts weight on how Chad will treat her animal. So I guess she's using the dog to let her know if Chad is a good guy or not. So her dog, she says, sleeps in the bed. His dog does not. And his cat sleeps anywhere that she would want to. It sounds like the cat can't sleep in the bed either. Chad has a simple thing of, you ain't sleeping in my bed. So he says, hey, we'll work it out. But he's not worried. I'm worried, Chad. I'm worried. Because y'all, my dogs don't sleep in my bed. They don't come up on the couch. We ain't sleeping in my bed. Don't even put your paws on my bed looking like you jumping up. I'm sorry, y'all go outside. The whole no shoes in the bed, no paws on the bed. I don't know what's between them toes. Even if we wash it and clean it, no. But that's just me, y'all. Call me what you will. Let me know in the comments below. Do your pets sleep in the bed or not? And do you have a spouse that shares that bed with you as well? Megan and Derek, he said he doesn't mind doing all the cleaning, but it's only going to be natural products without all those toxins and chemicals. He mainly uses white vinegar to clean most things because it can clean anything. I am with you, Derek. Thank you, production, for putting that in there because I'm like that too. Give me some white vinegar and we gon' have it good. But Megan don't want her house smelling like white vinegar. And I got you, Megan. I got you. She does not want the white vinegar smell in her home. It can be overwhelming, but that's also to let other things know don't come around here. But here's the thing. Y'all listening? If you have baking soda and you put like your essential oil in your baking soda and you kind of swish that around so that the baking soda collects the essential oil smell, then you put that into with the water and the vinegar. Yes, it'll fizzle up. It will fizzle quite a bit. You need something for the essential oils to bind with, and then it can dissolve into your bottle. You just need enough so that it camouflages that white vinegar smell and scent. So that's just my tip for the day so that, Megan would allow Derek to use his white vinegar. Okay? So her dog arrives and he's nervous because he's never had a dog. Remember, Derek's been traveling all over the world and having a pet is not going to work out for him. The dog sleeps in the bed. Okay, and she says the dog only sleeps in the doggy bed when Megan is not around. Okay, we see Derek is nervous, and I'm nervous for you. And Megan says, if he don't treat her dog like, his stepchild or like his child, it ain't gonna work out. She wants someone to give treats and take her dog for walks. Okay, Megan. This is your dog. This ain't his dog. This ain't Derek's dog. I'm going to need you, Megan, to realize this is your dog. Okay. And you do have a dog walker. You do have someone because the dog walker brought the dog to the house. I'm going to need you to keep that dog walker for a while. You need to ease him and ease the dog into it because there's rules of engagement. So we see it's the first morning after when everybody's staying in their home and we see Jalen and Josh. He said, I love you last night right before going to sleep. And Jalen said, I love you back. We see Belinda and Chad. Belinda's dog barks at Chad every time he walks by. Every time he walks by, come out the room, pass by, and they show us. So I'll have that in a short for y'all. And she says that's what her dog does when it sees someone. It just barks. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Either your dog doesn't like him or your dog is seeking attention. But I need you to figure it out. Because I can't walk by in my own place every time and your dog barking at me. No, ma'am. Please train the dog. Train the dog. Train your dog, please. The dog may want attention, and it may be that Chad needs to just turn around and pet her on the head for a few times so she kind of gets used to him or whatnot. But for you to bark at me every time I pass by and have to go into the kitchen or walk to the bathroom, that will get annoying quick. Then we see Josh and Jalen. Jalen does take Josh to her spin class. This is her passion, y'all. And Josh is a trooper. He survived it. I probably wouldn't. I'll probably get through 5-10 minutes. Spin class ain't it for me. Now, I do enjoy the power cycling, okay? But the whole spin class thing, and it's because I don't work with choreography that well. I'm not that coordinated. I won't even remember. You say, okay, do this for 5 times, and I'll forget. I'm sorry. But I just, let me spin. But he survives. He was not prepared, he said, but admits that she did kick his butt. His stamina, he realizes, is not enough, and he will wake up sore tomorrow. But she says spin class is her retirement plan, and he said he loves that he was able to participate in her passion. He loved seeing her in her element, and it was wonderful. I love this for both of them because Jalen still don't go to Burning Sands, okay? I don't care how much of your stuff that he wants to do. Please don't go to Burning Man, Burning Sands, out in the desert. Don't do it just because he come into your spin class. Don't do it. But Brittany and Will, they go to her house. He does take his shoes off immediately. I noticed that. And he is the first man that she has brought into her home. How long we had this home? And what about the prior relationships? None of those men were able to come to your home? But you said the relationship lasted 3 months. So I'm guessing that's not long enough to come to your home. But it had me thinking, are you meeting them at their place? Huh. Has the dating world changed? Y'all let me know in the comments. But she said if he is invested in her home, then he is invested in her as well. She's telling us that, not Will. So he is judging that she's taking a lot of outfits out of the apartment, okay? They walk around and he's like, He's just looking around. He doesn't want to say anything. And I know that because whether he likes or dislikes something, or maybe he compliments the wrong thing, I think Brittany would take it a little bit off. So he's just looking. I'm just looking. And then, he's looking at her and he jokes, he's saying jokes that don't land because she's upset that he hasn't complimented her home, how wonderful it is. This is awesome. But he did say it smells really good. He does say, oh, this is really lovely. He said that in the beginning, but it wasn't enough enthusiasm for her. But she feels judged. She wanted him to be as excited as she was in showing her home. You are exhausting, Brittany. He is not one of your girlfriends. He is not one of them. He's not an overly excited, expressive person. I too would be like, okay. But Will, you're going to have to ask her, what are you most proud of about your home? You're going to have to ask her to let her talk so that she ain't noticing and she ain't getting in her head about how much you're not talking. So, but you're exhausting. But he's like, you can't take all this stuff. Now she feels judged. You ain't showing excitement with the house. Now she can't take all her stuff. But he's like, we're going to take it, but this is a lot of stuff. Okay? He says he wants to have a good day with minimal confrontation. So that's why he keeps quiet. But she shut him down. And when he asks if there's anything more he can help her with, she says she's just going to do it herself. She shut down. You can't do this. Can't do this, Brittany. You have to tell him what your expectations are. Now, Rhonda and Pat, we go to Rhonda's house. Now, the first thing I know is Rhonda, where are the curtains? Rhonda, you have some big windows. Where are the curtains? There is no way I'm having that and I can't close the curtains. I'm sorry. But we do realize that she been eyeing this house for the longest time. And every time she drove by, she likes this house. She wants this house. And I guess with the power of suggestion, the universe presented the house. And her realtor asked if she wanted it. And she jumped on it. She got it, I think she said about 20 years ago. But he still ain't got no drapes. Please tell me production told you take the curtains down. But you could at least have the curtains open. I'm scared. I'm scared. But she does say, hey, her closet is messy. And it's full. So she warns him, hey, don't judge. But it's a lovely home. Absolutely gorgeous home. Lovely backyard with pool. And he talks about how he just would need a corner, if he were to move in with her. And Rhonda shuts it down. She said she has concerns about that, but we ain't going to talk about this now. Not today. Basically, don't talk about moving in my home when you just got here. And I'm with Rhonda. Pat, don't start making plans to move in. Megan and Derek. He said he's on a morning walk right now. They had a rough night. Okay. And I said, oh, Lord, did you have another night terror, Derek? Did you wake up screaming again? He said it's hard to sleep. The dog is barking. The dog is sleeping on his side of the bed. And he and Megan got into a disagreement about who should walk Zoe. Okay. This is where I am like, should the pets be here already? Should the pets be here on day one when we move in? I think we should at least give it a couple days, not day one. Please. Now you expect him to take responsibility for your dog, Megan. I can't. Why is she expecting him to take responsibility for her dog as of day one? First of all, your dog don't know him. I am getting into too much responsible animal ownership in this episode. I am sorry, y'all. But your dog has to get to know him. He has to get to know your dog. He has to get to know the signs of your dog. Is she done with handling her business outside? Does she need more walking? How long? What is a good route for her? What should she get into? What can she not get into? What are special things you may need for your dog? Your dog is another being. You cannot just palm it off on another person, especially someone who hasn't had a chance to handle the dog, okay? A responsible owner will help smooth over and harness a relationship with this new person and their dog. There's a man who never had a dog. You cannot thrust him into complete pet responsibility and ownership right off the bat. You cannot. He admits this is all new to him. He doesn't know what's right. He doesn't know what's fair. He doesn't know what the expectations are, he's saying, but he feels like he has been compromising, but he doesn't know the path. She says, well, I have been compromising too. So he asked her for some examples. She said, the cleaning thing, you use different products. He's like, your issue is I'm using products that are cleaner. And she got defensive. She's like, wait a minute. Okay. She's like, if you're going to use this dog in the bed stuff too against me, this is BS. And she yells that, hey, I've been compromising because you've been leaving the toilet seat up and I don't bitch about it. I was like, daggone it. Megan is on DEFCON 4. Megan is on DEFCON 4 about her dog. Yes, we dog owners are passionate about our dogs, but Megan, you cannot throw the man into the deep end. And you cannot do that to your dog too. Your dog don't know this man either, okay? He says it's just like the honeymoon. She gets defensive and emotional. She needs to not have expectations without talking to him about it, like the dog thing. But he does talk to her through the bathroom door, and she does come out. He said maybe his expectations were wrong with the responsibility and the sleeping in the bed, but he appreciates it if she would just ask him how he feels about, walking the dog. Because the thing is, she basically was expecting him to do it before she leaves for work. Then because she was late at home, coming home, she expected him to do it then, and he didn't want to do it. Okay? So she also felt ambushed again. I'm like, why are we feeling ambushed? But we're going to find out later on. But later on that night, I guess they have, squashed it. And he does try on her light, her light mask with light therapy. But hey, they want to talk about their issues in the moment. Now, Josh takes Jalen to his home, show her how his older dog wears, a doggy diaper in the house because I guess older, they have accidents. We totally understand. Josh ain't asking Jalen to take responsibility. Not that we saw, but he just showed her how it's done and, he's handling it. Okay. That was the cutest thing. He has his own home. And I wonder if Jalen is going to take inventory of where things need to move, okay? Belinda and Chad, they go and they are going to, what? Shoot arrows, archery. Yes. She says the only hunting she does is bargains, nothing else. Now, Belinda, I used to be like you. I do like to hunt bargains, but hey, I love that Chad is taking her. He took her fishing, and now he's taking her archery, and I'm loving that Belinda is open to trying these things. And he says maybe he's doing so well with his archery because he's wearing a wedding ring. So she does try it, y'all, after he does it a few times. And she's getting closer and closer to the center. She's having fun. She's enjoying it. And he said something that's very interesting. Thank you for this tidbit, Chad. I'm going to have to use it next time I'm doing archery. He says it's easier to adjust your body than to adjust the bow. I said that is as simple as it gets. That's as simple as it gets. It is easier when you are adjusting and pulling, you're like, can you adjust he's like, no, don't adjust the bow and the arrow. Adjust your stance, your body. I'm going to use that, chat. And I'm going to tell y'all how it works out. Megan and Derek, Pastor Cal visits. Oh, wow. We're having expert visits. Why is Derek wearing a sparkle gold jacket? But apparently he likes to coordinate their outfits. Pastor Cal asked about what's going on, about the bed and, frisky time. They confirm it is not an issue. Okay. Again, frisky time is not an issue with having the dog in the bed. Okay. So are you well adjusted because of that, Derek? Is that why you were up in arms? I know it's not, but I'm just making a joke at you. But Derek said he has adjusted. He wants, Megan acknowledges he wants to be heard and not, her to just throw stuff at him. And Pastor Cal said, hey, you have to over communicate. She is a fight or flight, she says. And Pastor Cal say you have to let him know you're coming back when you're in flight mode. And you're telling him in your flight that you're shutting down and he cannot reach you. It's great that you have resolved arguments already, so you're kind of learning each other. So Pastor Cal asked Derek, what does he want more of? He said she's a hard worker, and in humor, he feels connected to her. But she has to work on her defense mechanism. How is he able to bring things up to her and she listened without running away? So Megan says she does not like confrontation, but she wants things brought up in a moment. Megan, that is kind of counterintuitive, because bringing it up in a moment may feel confrontational. So maybe you need a few bits and for someone to ask, well, can I bring something up? Is this a good time? Maybe that's what you need. Pastor Cal says, trust that you have someone who is here and that you can rely on. Megan says he can be aloof with the dog. Okay. So Derek does bring it up, but he has a harsh tone and there's a change in demeanor that even Pastor Cal notices. And Pastor Cal says, you stop touching her, your posture change. That means there's conflict. Just listen to her and nod. He tried again. It didn't sound sincere, not even to me. But they talked and, she rated it a 5 with his next attempt. And Pastor Cal told her, hey, you need to receive his effort with a little more, little more warmth, okay? Because he did try again and it was way better. He touched her leg and looked at her and apologized and said what he needed, okay? But then, she got defensive herself because she didn't believe it the first time when he was playing around. So Pastor Cal say, how can you smooth this over now, Megan? So she touched him and it changed the tone of the communication with each other. And Pastor Cal hopes that they could take in these, cues and work well together. Now, in this whole thing with Pastor Cal, I said, Pastor Cal, you ain't heard Megan be defensive and feel ambushed and all that, even when he is calm, cool, and collected. Okay? Pastor Cal, you're going to need to run back some of that video footage. Now we see Brittany and Will. They joke about all the stuff that she done brought, that she ain't unpacked yet. They had a good little giggle about it. And Pastor Cal visits. Pastor Cal says, what are the good things that are happening? Nothing. We don't even hear crickets. Brittany says a major issue is she's very expressive and open, but she doesn't get that from Will. She doesn't know if he's happy, mad, or sad. And they talk about the visit, and he had no reaction to her home, but he had a reaction to how much stuff she wanted to bring. Now, Pastor Cal said that, hey, she wants you to care about what she cares about. Men need to care about their wives in the way that the wife wants to be cared for. All men have to understand that. But Pastor Cal, she didn't express that before. She didn't tell him ahead of time. He can't know ahead of time. He's just moving in his normal behavior. But Pastor Cal goes on to say, but it's a big problem if you thinking he's going to read your mind. Pastor Cal tells her, you should ask him, do you like my home? What do you like about it? Brittany says she does not want to push him, but she does not know where she stands with him. And it's understood, but he doesn't know where he stands with you. Both of you need to verbalize what you need. So do you like my home? I'm very proud of my home. What are your thoughts about me at, 30 something, young lady owning my own home? You have to guide him to where you want him to be. Y'all are learning each other. And Will, you got to respond when she does it, please. Pastor Cal said, well, you need to say what bothers you to Will. She's a big girl. She can handle that. Pastor Cal, you don't know that. He been giving her and she been defensive. Pastor Cal, So Will said the last time I did that, it was not received well. He talks about how she doesn't like that he's not initiating intimacy. So Brittany says it triggered her and she took it as rejection. And Pastor Cal says, what did you need, Brittany, from him in that moment? She says, I needed him to say he did not regret it. So Pastor Cal says, let her know that things are okay. Let her know how you feel. And Will did at that moment, okay? And he looks at her and she didn't need space, Pastor Cal said. She needed control and comfort and cover from him. But Will, as I said, looked at her. He expressed that he does want her. And Pastor Cal had to tell Brittany, hey, that felt sincere, because she's looking at Pastor Cal. She's not looking at Will. She didn't even know Will was looking at her when he was expressing that. But when Pastor Cal asked her about Will, she doesn't look at Will. She looks at Pastor Cal when she says she does want him. Plus, it's very hard for her to say that. She says vulnerability is not her thing. Pastor Cal's like, you got to get used to it. Now, Will shares that, he's not going to run away. He is here. They are married. Brittany says she will listen and accept his words and not internalize things. And Pastor Cal shares, hey, in this vulnerability, it is scary, but when it's done, it is satisfying. So they do end up, cuddling on the couch, because they started off, and as Jesse Wu would say, the continents are not meeting. They're on separate ends of the couch, but by the end, they were cuddled up together because Will pulled her in to his embrace, and Pastor Cal liked seeing that by the time he left. Now, Rhonda and Pat, though, get Dr. Pia. Dr. Pia. And while Pat is talking, okay, Rhonda is looking like the sparkle has faded. Sparkle's gone. I ain't feeling this no more. She's glad that Rhonda is glad that he recognizes where he can do work and he needs to listen. And every time Rhonda is talking, I'm like, he need to. She's correcting him constantly. And I know she means well and they've had great conversation, but I'm hearing a repetitive what he needs to do to adjust to her. I hear a little bit about in a honeymoon, but this sounded like he needs to. Pat says he felt like at the home visit that he made it very intentional to just listen to her so he doesn't interject like she doesn't like. Now she brings it up and she's sharing about a biking group she just told him about. And he said, hey, I'll ask my friends who are in the biking world, what they know about the group or whatever. She is like, he didn't ask her, like, what does she know? How long? She didn't show interest in the information she had. And I was like, it doesn't matter how he gets the information, Rhonda. This is not what you need to do to prove yourself to him. Okay? He received the information. He's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll ask the people who ride every day, if they know about the group, if it's Sunday or Saturday or whatnot. That's okay, Rhonda. He received it and he's going to ask other people. I know you felt slighted, but it's not technically a slight. Okay? He probably doesn't want to get into it right now, right before the expert was coming here. So while she's telling Dr. Pia that, she says she does not feel heard in the moment. And Dr. Pia, asks him, for answers and stops him because when Pat is responding, like, how did he feel in that moment? He's giving a political answer and it's sounding kind of smooth. And he admits to being a people pleaser, but he felt attacked. But he feels attacked is a strong word. And Dr. Pia said, thank you for expressing exactly how you feel. Okay. Now, Dr. Pia asked Pat, do you know what a safe space is like for you? He said there have been times when her negative responses or directness has come out elevated. And that has made him feel some kind of way. Now, Rhonda is adjusting in her seat now. She ain't touching him no more. Her body language changed and she got defensive. Rhonda says she didn't notice it, but she noticed she did get defensive. Dr. Pia says, how can you be a safe space for him when he shared with you how he felt and you got defensive? Rhonda says she felt the need to protect herself. And Dr. Pia's like, this is his fear that he shares and you will take it the wrong way. Rhonda says that's hurtful. It goes back to her past relationships where they like that she's boisterous, but when she's direct, she must have done something wrong. She must have done some terrible things. And it has happened in every relationship. So Dr. Pia does share, he is not your ex's. He's not your ex. Rhonda says that he used the same words that they did to express they were overwhelmed by her personality. So Pat shared that Rhonda's personality is not a flaw to him. It is an asset. It is not negative. He has to work on how he receives it, and he wants to learn how to be open and how to change and be open so she doesn't become defensive. So Rhonda says she does believe his words, but she feels unsafe now, and she needs time to feel safe. Will and Brittany. She wants him to show, okay, that he appreciates her. He said, hey, I ain't gonna show it right away. This ain't gonna happen overnight. Now, Will, don't make that your excuse. I need you to try. I need you to try right now. So he will voice his excitement, and she understands that he will express in his own way. Brittany says she knows he has things he's excited about, and he just doesn't show it, or the way he shows excitement is just not a way that she understands. But she appreciates that when he does look at her, when he compliments her, he is seeing her and he's being sincere. And they joke and quirk about going to bed and cuddling up, and we hear smooches, y'all. So we don't know what happened behind closed doors when the lights go out. Now we go back to Rhonda and Pat. Rhonda decides to walk her dogs. Pat is at the apartment snacking. They had a little spread out for Dr. Pia when she came, and Pat is going to town. Rhonda says she's exhausted. She's exhausted. He's afraid to open up and be honest because of past relationships and the repercussions from it. And now she's done the same to him. Y'all, they're triggering each other. Pat and Rhonda are triggering each other, and Pat is choosing not to talk, and it's creating a whole cycle. So she says he will shut down and they will be in a loop. And all we see is Pat snacking. Pat ain't talking to the producers. He's snacking, but he's putting away the snacks too, okay? But she doesn't know how they're going to get out of it. She doesn't know. She needs to take time to take care of herself, and she has to get away. I think we have a runaway bride right here. Rhonda is going to start running away. I wonder if she goes back to her home. That's the end of the episode, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Is Rhonda going to go home? Is she going to stick it out with Pat? Is she even going to come back to the apartment, or will she just keep on walking? Let me know in the comments. But thank you so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.